Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this video. This is Doug with News and Views by Doug. So, new folks, if you're watching, this is where I give my observations and opinions on world events, politics, and pretty much anything else I feel like talking about. Today is Sunday, June 7th, and the world's just going to hell. What can I say? The Persian Gulf is kicked off again. And, even though I'm I'm a conservative, I'm kind of pro Trump, I will call him out for any bullshit. And I am sick and tired of hearing him say that there's going to be a deal soon, a peace between Iran, the United States, and Israel. He says it every frickin' day that we're this close to making a deal. Who the hell's he talking to? Because the Iranian country is being ran by the IRGC. There's no civilians that are talking to anybody. It's the IRGC that's in control, in power. And they don't know what a truce or ceasefire means. They keep sending their drones and their ballistic missiles and anything else they can to attack the Gulf states and the U.S. military that's in the area. And they launched ballistic missiles and drones again. The U.S. is saying they shot them all down. There's a large presence of U.S. fighters right now flying over Iraq, probably on drone patrol. And then we've got Israel that's still wiping out Hezbollah in South Lebanon because Hezbollah doesn't know what a truce or a ceasefire is. They were supposed to stop, according to President Trump. And of course, they're not. Matter of fact, they not only wounded a bunch of Israeli troops yesterday, they sent a drone into a UN peacekeepers camp. And they killed one UN soldier and wounded two others. So when are we going to sit there and just realize that this war is not going to end unless we end it? One way or another. Wipe out the IRGC, or I don't know. I don't have the answers. So here in the United States, yesterday in Toledo, Ohio, there was a festival going on when suddenly gunshots rang out. And they believe it was two people shooting at each other. Of course, they couldn't hit each other, but they hit 12 people from ages 14 to 61, I believe. And three of those people are in critical condition. It was mostly young people at this festival. And, the violence in America is just, it's going up. And I blame a lot of it on the left. You've got the Soros-sponsored Antifa that's bringing people in, and they're pretty much, everywhere. They're still fighting in New Jersey against the state troopers at the ICE detention center. You've got Erica Kirk and Turning Point USA that was in San Antonio yesterday for a conference, and the Antifa and the left-wing protesters showed up. And they're all screaming that Charlie Kirk, it was a good thing that he was murdered, and that Erica Kirk needs to be murdered, and all these other things. And then they started fighting with the San Antonio Police Department. And Texas, of all places, Antifa showed up. All these lefties showed up. We need to crack down and crack down hard. I honestly believe at some point there's going to be a civil uprising, and it's going to be the right versus left. And I don't want to see it, but the left have to be put down and put down hard. I grew up during the Vietnam conflict, and there was protests. I just don't remember them ever really being that violent. Yeah, there was Kent State where the National Guard opened fire on a bunch of college students and killed some. But I don't remember the Vietnam conflict protests being that violent. And then you also had the civil rights movement where, there was some violence. There was some rioting going on, but not to the extreme that we've got going on today, at least in my opinion. So, I'm fearful not for the immediate future of this country. I'm fearful for the future of this country when my grandchildren are grown. What kind of country are we going to be? Are we still going to be the light of freedom in the world? Or are we going to turn into a leftist country? And I'm seeing more and more of these videos by Muslim extremists that are saying that they're here to wipe out Europe. They're here to wipe out the United States and turn everybody into a Muslim. And they're not talking peaceful takeover. And they're claiming that there should be their Antifa, or I'm sorry, I can't even say the word, Intifala, which is basically where they rise up and kill all the Christians. So anyways, sorry about that. I can't pronounce some words apparently. Again, I keep telling you to, keep your eyes open, be aware of your surroundings, situational awareness. And if you see something, say something, because there's a lot of terrorists in the United States right now. I just saw another video that they're talking about that Al Qaeda has sleeper cells throughout the United States, and that the law enforcement is fully expecting multiple attacks to start happening. So, folks, I wish you to be safe, be aware of your surroundings, and if you see something, say something. But I wish you to be safe out there today. Please hit the subscribe button, like or dislike button. If you have a comment, please leave it. If you disagree with me, go ahead and leave it. Open up a dialogue. I'd love to know what your opinion is. Be safe, folks.